Nick, give me a calculation. What do you want to know? Distance between here and Bakersfield. Hold on one second. I'm gonna calculate it for you. 324 miles and, just kidding. You need some fuel consumption calculations? Don't worry about it, I got you. Hold on, I'm gonna convert US gallons to pounds. Give me a second. Okay, hold on here. Hey guys, it is Cam from Craft and Tailored, and in this episode of What Is On My Wrist, we're talking about the Heuer UFO, AKA the calculator. The reference is 110.633. Boom, nailed that one. Like that, David? You like that? Bit of a mouthful. Much like this watch. This is a big honkin', you could kill somebody with this. You know what I'm saying? In a pinch, you could take this off and you could beat somebody over the head with it. This watch is awesome. It's the Heuer Calculator. It is a tank. It is awesome. It is oversized. Some of you might like it. Some of you might hate it. Personally, I think it's pretty awesome. So the Heuer Calculator Automatic Chronograph, reference 110.633, is clearly an oversized, tonneau-shaped, water-resistant, self-winding stainless steel wristwatch with round button chronograph, pushers, registers a date. Essentially, this has a very large outer rotating bezel with a sliding calculator, which is really, really awesome. So you can do all kinds of stuffs with this outer rotating calculator. And yes, the watch is a chronograph. Yes, the watch is technically a sports watch, but it's also a calculator, and was Heuer's attempt to create something that could be used for racing, but also things that would require calculations, conversions, things like that. Flight, automotive, scientific community, that's who would have leveraged this watch back in the 1970s. Additionally, the design of the watch is really interesting because it has these high visibility orange hands with a blue dial. And it's very striking when worn on the wrist, and it's just really, really awesome. So the Heuer Calculator actually came in two different color options. There was the blue dial variant like this with the orange handset, and then there was also a black dial variant that had a white handset, which was a little bit more, I guess, low visibility. This one is, I think, more of a high visibility watch. Blue dial really contrasting with the orange handset. The black was a little bit more subdued. Similar watch in the sense that same movement, you know, slightly different outer rotating bezel, but same kind of form meeting function type of purpose for the watch. Standing at a beefy 45 millimeters in diameter, the case is 15.5 millimeters thick. There's no forgetting that this thing is on your wrist. Like I was saying, you walk into a room, this is, you know, this watch is visible, which is really, really cool. So what's interesting about the outer rotating bezel is the outer rotating bezel rotates and then the inner ring stays fixed, and that's for accurate and precise calculations. The slide rule is designed to measure distance and also convert weight and volume from the imperial to the metric system and vice versa. The Heuer Calculator was available with the Heuer Caliber 12 and Caliber 15 automatic movements, as well as a single manual wind value option. The watch that I'm talking about today features a Cal 12 automatic self-winding movement, which also leverages a micro rotor, which is really, really cool. So even though the watch is beefy, there is some horological hotness. I don't know if we can maybe hashtag that one, David. Hashtag David, horological hotness. And that's hot with a H-A-U-T-E-ness. Not hot as in like your sister, but you know what I mean. Tell her to call me, by the way. But what's cool is this does leverage a micro rotor, which I think from a movement perspective is cool. If you've ever seen a micro rotor, it's like a little tiny rotor instead of having a big oscillating weight, which is kind of an interesting feature set. And obviously Heuer leveraged that with their Cal 12. These are pretty rare. You don't see these a lot for, I think, obvious reasons. One is it's definitely not everybody's cup of tea. I personally like the watch. Matter of fact, I actually find it quite comfortable. In typical kind of Octavia-esque fashion. The crown is flip-flop, so that way if your hand is up on a steering wheel, you know, the crown isn't digging into the top side of your wrist, while leaving the chronograph pusher is still functional, so you can operate it kind of like a stopwatch. So the case of this Heuer is in stunning condition, remains unpolished, has all the factory finishing, which is something that I definitely look for when bringing watches into our collection and or advising our customers. Takes kind of a keen and discerning eye to understand what finishing out of this era looks like, but this watch definitely has all of the geometric shapes, all the factory finishing, and all the angles are intact. Additionally, the dial remains in remarkable condition as well. There's no degradation, there's no cracking or any flaws to the dial, and the tritium luminous is also fully intact and looks wonderful. It has taken on kind of a greeny yellow kind of patina, and doesn't show any degradation in the hands or on the plots on the dial. So it's a really nice collector's example, but a watch I think you could wear and enjoy. It's a really fun watch to wear. I've enjoyed wearing this a lot, and that's why I wanted to talk about it on this week's episode. We'll definitely provide a link in the description below. Be sure to check this out so you can see the specifics on this example from the 1970s. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And for the latest updates and features from Craft & Tailor, be sure to follow us on Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.